Welcome back. In the previous segment, we explored Kingdom Monera, home to prokaryotic life. Now we shift our focus to the fascinating world of Kingdom Protista, a diverse group of unicellular eukaryotes. Protists are unique. They don't fit cleanly into the categories of plants, animals, or fungi. That's why biologists created this separate kingdom. They have membrane-bound organelles, a defined nucleus, and are mostly aquatic. So why does Protista matter? Because it forms the bridge between simple prokaryotic life and complex multicellular organisms like plants and animals. Let's begin with the first group, Chrysophytes. Chrysophytes include two groups, Diatoms and Desmids, commonly known as golden algae. They're mostly microscopic and float passively in water, forming part of the plankton community. Diatoms have an exceptional feature. Their cell walls are made of silica, arranged into overlapping halves like a soapbox. These walls are virtually indestructible. Over time, they accumulate on ocean and lake beds, forming deposits called diatomaceous earth, used in polishing, filtration, and even toothpaste. Ecologically, they're extremely important. Diatoms are the chief producers in oceans, forming the base of the aquatic food chain. Next are Dinoflagellates, mostly marine and photosynthetic. They come in vivid colors, red, yellow, green, blue, depending on their pigments. The outer surface has stiff cellulose plates, giving them a distinct armored appearance. Most have two flagella. One runs longitudinally and the other transversely across a groove. Some species like Gonulax can multiply rapidly, causing what's known as red tides. The ocean appears red due to their dense populations. But beware, some release toxins that can kill marine animals, including fish and shellfish. It's a beautiful yet dangerous display of nature's power. Euglenoids, like Euglena, challenge our definitions of plant and animal. Found in stagnant fresh water, they have no rigid cell wall. Instead, their body is covered by a protein-rich layer called the pellicle, which gives flexibility. In sunlight, they act like plants, performing photosynthesis, but in darkness, they switch roles, behaving like heterotrophs, feeding on smaller organisms. This dual mode of nutrition is called mixotrophy. Their pigments are identical to those in higher plants, hinting at evolutionary connections. Euglenoids are a perfect example of how nature defies simple labels. Slime molds are saprophytic protists that feed on decaying matter. They resemble fungi in some stages, but are classified under Protista because of their cellular features. In favorable conditions, they form a large plasmodium, a multinucleated mass that can spread over several feet, moving slowly and engulfing food particles. When conditions turn harsh, they transform. The plasmodium forms fruiting bodies at the tips, releasing spores with tough cell walls. These spores can survive for years and disperse through wind. It's a survival mechanism as dramatic as it is efficient. Let's now explore one of the most fascinating groups in Kingdom Protista, the Protozoans. These organisms are heterotrophic and often referred to as animal-like protists because of their mode of nutrition and ability to move. Some protozoans live freely in aquatic environments, while others are parasitic, living inside a host. Based on their movement and structural characteristics, protozoans are divided into four major categories. First, amoeboid protozoans, like amoeba and entomoeba, move using pseudopodia, temporary finger-like projections that help them crawl and engulf food. Some marine forms even have protective silica shells. Second, we have flagellated protozoans, such as Trypanosoma, which causes sleeping sickness in humans. These organisms use whip-like flagella for movement, and many live as parasites in host bodies. Third are the ciliate protozoans, with paramecium as a well-known example. Their bodies are covered with thousands of tiny cilia that beat in coordinated waves, helping in both movement and feeding. They also have a specialized structure called a gullet that directs food into the cell. Lastly, sporozoans like Plasmodium, the parasite responsible for malaria, do not have structures for movement. Instead, they spread through infectious spores and often have complex life cycles involving multiple hosts. Overall, protozoans represent an evolutionary link between unicellular protists and multicellular animals, offering insight into how complex life might have evolved from simpler beginnings. Let's quickly recap what we've learned about Kingdom Protista. Protista includes all unicellular eukaryotes, forming a bridge between prokaryotic life and multicellular organisms. Chrysophytes, like diatoms, are major producers in aquatic ecosystems. Dinoflagellates can cause harmful red tides, sometimes releasing deadly toxins. Euglenoids display dual nutrition, photosynthetic by day, heterotrophic by night. Slime molds live on decay and form tough, resistant spores in harsh conditions. Protozoans resemble early animal forms and include disease-causing species like Plasmodium and Trypanosoma. In our next session, we'll explore the kingdom fungi, organisms that break down matter but sustain the cycle of life. The journey through biodiversity continues, one kingdom at a time.